I have this dream.
It's raining all night, these wind gushes. I think I'm in Mongolia.
How tough will it be?
Beautiful weather, beautiful roads. What else do you want in life?
What will the mountain people be like? And what will they think of me?
He asking me your purpose.
Mongolia is a country that is 40 times bigger than my country, the Netherlands. I have to take 2 flights before I arrive in the capital. It takes me 8 hours to fly from Frankfurt. In Ulan Bator I take a bus to Tsetserleg, taking me 8 hours. On the way I pass the mini Gobi and later the Karakorum, founded by Genghis Khan in 1300 AD. The route is about 800 kilometers long when you close the loop, with a total elevation gain of 8,000 meters. There are 2 villages along the way to resupply and enough rivers to filter your water from. Ending in Tairat, you can cycle back along the main road or take 2 alternative routes, which about more later. I have always loved cycling. When I was young, I did a lot of cycling trips with my father. In recent years, I've done a lot of miles all over Italy, but preparing for Mongolia, however, feels totally different. A little self-motivation is required sometimes. I always hate these zippers. As a setup, I take my giant Toughroad with built-in sun dynamo and USB port, on which I load my power bank. On top of that, I put my Garmin Polar. Then it's time to pack all the handy gadgets, which I will not name all. But a warm sleeping bag, some extra socks and a good water filter is vital stuff. Extra brake pads and outer tire are not. And oh yes, my emergency spoke repair set. I never go without it. Flying with your bike can be complicated, especially when you have to transfer. This time I put an air tracker on my luggage and in my bike box.
Off to Mongolia. So my bike is not here, it's coming tomorrow morning. but I have to go back in the morning and hope it's here then.
My taxi driver brings me to the city center, where Gigi runs the Zaya hostel. Like many, she moved to the capital for work and study. She grew up in a ger at the countryside with her brothers, where she learned horse riding at a young age. In the department store, they sell gas cans.
It's now 5 a.m. My taxi driver should be here half an hour ago, but he didn't show up. So I had to call another taxi driver again to get my bike, which is at the airport, I hope. So 5 a.m. Really early. Drinking tea.
Turns out, Gigi had offered me to get my bike for me, while I could rest. When her driver was there, he found out we already collected my bike. About half of all 3.4 Mongolian people live in Ulan Bator. Mongolia is one of the least densely populated countries on Earth. In winter, people that live in the slums of Ulan Bator burn coal or wood in their jars, causing major air pollution problems. I am now in the middle of Ulan Bator. I am going to the Genghis Khan Museum. Yesterday I went to the Historic Museum. That was also an amazing museum with loads of nice costumes. Really original Mongolian streetwear of the ancient times. The Mongolian Empire is the largest continuous land empire that ever existed on Earth. It is said that Genghis Khan is the Green Conqueror. On his invasions, he left behind so much empty ruined agricultural land it became forest again, thus reducing CO2 by 700 billion tons. In the West, we would envy a green leader like this. Luckily, his statue is in gold.
I have to get a SIM card for 15 days, so I'll see if it will work. You have to have a connection in the mountains. Really cozy, not much space to move anything. And I hope it will be different in a few days. A bit more space. Oh, wow, this landscape is vast here. It's like never seen it before. It's like I landed on a big green moon, like a little ant. Where you say aunt, maybe aunt is like your uncle's wife, but
Good morning, Mongolia! It is 6 a.m. and I'm driving through Mongolia for the first time, heading for the bus, which leaves in 2 hours from now.
It will be busy on the bus. School season begins, so the bus is fully packed. The bus drivers like to make a bit of a show, whether my bike can come along or not. Luckily, I have a voucher that the Fairfield hostel arranged for me.
so there was a bit of a fuss, but I knew that he would do that.
In the bus, I sit next to Bender Nassar. As we pass the city Karakorum, that was once the capital of the immense big Mongolian Empire, she tells me all about Mongolian culture. She does this whole bus stretch twice a week for a job. We pass the mini Gobi, a small part of desert formed by the sand blown over from the Gobi Desert. I meet up with Murray. He set out the Khangai Mountains Traverse in 2010 with Cass Gilbert, all to be found on bikepacking.com. He gives me all the ins and outs on the route, where the water points are, the resupply points, and where I might have a phone connection.
Sort of a bit more heavy.
fill this up. And this, you put that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, thanks.
When I found some gasoline for my burner, it was time to meddle the pedals. When there's not much attractions around, you become the attraction.
Finally, I'm on the bike after 5 days.
Maybe that is from being so tired, but I'm actually shedding a tear for this moment. At this point in time, the cold I came down with stabilizes a little. I had a good night's sleep in the Fairfield hostel after several nights with only 1 hour of sleep. Also, the digestive issues were going better. The weather was nice and warm, ready for a good start.
It's so strange, you absolutely hear nothing here. Only some birds. It's like crickets here. Mongolian crickets there are.
The crickets turn out to be grasshoppers, with blue and red wings. My water filter is working fine, after I found out I have to use it the other way around. I have never experienced this kind of silence before. It feels like some sort of silence radio.
First rain on the trip. It's a cold rain. I hope soon it's over.
I meet my first and only biker on the route. He rides the route the other way around, for reasons I'll explain later.
And then you go down to under Ulan.
Yeah.
I encounter my first OVO, a place that binds nature, man and the spiritual world. It brings luck when you spin it clockwise 3 times. But I went the wrong way around it. How much did I know?
I'm exhausted. Way too much climbing. I had to go to the toilet, but everywhere's the toilet here. It's a bit of a strange situation when you're busy and all kind of cars run by with food on the back. Suddenly a cold wind came in and yeah, I really cooled off too much. You have to be careful. Put your shoes on in time and extra vest and stuff. But tomorrow we'll see. We have to climb to a peak with deer stones. It's only 500 meters, but in gravel with a heavy loaded bike, that is a different story. Fresh and fruity. Beautiful weather, beautiful roads. What else do you want in life?
The roads are awesome this time of the year. In spring, all can be way too dusty. Winter is real tough, with temperatures that can drop below -40. Winds can pick up, and suddenly drop again, like nothing happened. And then there's windburn, the dry air. Oh my god, headwind! And a whole lot of it. Then there's windburn, the dry air, drying up the skin and lips.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Is that sweet? Or just fat? Arroz. Mongolian Tairat. Bye.
They gave me dried cheese. I have to climb up now to 2,800 meters.
You really feel the altitude here.
This night I have to withstand -5 Celsius. Just roll it up in the goose feathers.
It's for you to say, Mr. Voiceover.
I was camping on the burrows of the Mongolian squirrels. They didn't mind, I think. A pretty fast descent from here to the first village for resupply. Everyone washing boards.
Bikes.
Back on the beautiful trail, fully stuffed.
Can't believe it.
However, the GPS trail changes a bit over 10 years, and I have some trouble zooming in on my Garmin. There are simply not any buildings to refer to as well. Swamp riding. This evening, time stands still. All is so silent, it feels like a big woolen blanket. All in this and the afterlife is there in the same moment.
Yeah. Okay. Zak? Okay.
Pushing boards all day long, and the gradient climbing of 1%. The wind is not too good too, but this is the day I will get there.
Apart from an advantage of 400 climbing meters, this part of the route is why many bikers go the other way around. The wind is more favorable too. Keep in mind there is no water point here for 30 kilometers.
Wow, this is like a green moon.
I meet another inhabitant. Hunted a lot in time of Russian occupation, in the 90s their numbers dropped and they're now protected.
Oh my god, that was a very cold night. That must have been well below freezing. What I heard wolves cry. Must have been my imaginations, but it were all these dogs barking all the time. Luckily there's now a bit of sun, so it warms up a bit. There's so much difference between night and day that when you put your sunscreen on, it's like still frozen in the morning. Never had that, but yeah, it's mountains and I'm a Dutch guy, so I'm not used to it. But this was an extremely cold night, and I'm used to the cold. But the difference between night and day, it's like hell freezes suddenly.
won't help you, praying won't do you no good. Crying won't help you, praying won't do you no
Why do you?
I don't know.
Yeah, your country is the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, people are nice. Bit shy, but also nice.
Shy.
Yeah.
Yes, very shy. Can I help you? You something need?
They are here on holiday. I try to explain I'm here to feel what the nomads feel. I fail in doing so.
Day 7, a little bit of rain in the night.
Drinking a bit of tea.
The weather is shifting and it's getting colder. I lose the track and I have some tough terrain to cross. And also the river at another and much deeper point. My shoes get wet and I have to dry my socks in my neck at night, as they do in the army. Dogs are called off by the owner most of the time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
My next supply and warm-up point. As I walk into the shop, you can see a woman look at my feet. Right before this town, I hit a big mud puddle and got stuck with my wheels and going nowhere. I left a trail of mud and water.
Cold rain.
Ja. I go too. Tonight that will end, and tomorrow should be better. It's raining all night. There's wind gushes. I think I'm in Mongolia.
Then the last stretch to Tairat, around the lake. I ate a bad piece of meat and I had a heavy night again. So much space. It is getting to my head. I realize I'm a European who is not used to this much freedom of space. Everything feels heavy at this point. Every small climb feels like a huge mountain. I haven't had a shower in 8 days, but all is about to change.
Nice to be inside something again, without this vast landscape around you. And today I'm gonna drive the main road. I hope in 2 days, and then I go back to Tsetserleg.
The big lake was formed by this bronze volcano. It blocked the nearby river. You can also take 2 alternative routes back, taking a few days more. One upper route with canyon sides and one down route, visiting hot springs along the way.
I can't believe I made the route in 8.5 days, without any resting days. So, now I will shop for some food and then hit the big road back to Tsetserleg. Of the world is paved roads, and the rest is Mongolia.
I am biking with the wind in the back, and I get some support again along the way. I am back in Tsetserleg, where I meet many other bikers in the Fairfield hostel. The trip back home goes pretty smoothly. I hope you like this little video. Give it a like if you can, and feel free to drop a comment.
Okay, good.